就当手机做那么，将就把你的你感出去，在你全年地被所当地，早晚盘结三给出花球。就当手机做那么，将就把你的你感出去，在你全年地被所当地，早晚盘结三给出花球。Gate, para sum gate, body swaha. Para sum gate, body swaha. Gate, para sum gate, body swaha.
심지어 탐제도 토자라나 마치바 산제 공부하는 거지 진짜 도와자 뒤에도 아니 장조선만 라자는 최신의 양손랑고 라와라 신고 신발을 펴고 도와 토제 쇼마도 와지고도 가서 라브리 소리니 삼삼자.
And so we set our motivation to do whatever we possibly can to attain the purest state of enlightenment, and by perfecting all the trainings on the Bodhisattva path. And to perfect those trainings in turn, I need to gain a proper understanding of them, and I gain that understanding by listening to an unmistaken presentation of that path, of those teachings. And so it is with this in mind that I am here to hear a teaching on the graduated path to enlightenment set of teachings this morning.
소신 세다는 지금 탑재라 투지 전부터 또 마셔져 두고 아니 지 가서다 두게 남과다스 오다 가자지 세다 아니 대 도가네 왜세 대조로 쳐봐 아니 예윤으로 쳐봐 아니 샴로 쳐봐 둘로 쳐봐 어떤데서 공부하시는 대조로 쳐봐라 되네 아니 저도 저도 나네 지라주고 남아되게 아니 다 커서 삼사체 아니 예로 쳐봐라 아니 가서다 지도 잡아 공부를 하다 가자지가 가서 파워 토메라 소고 로빈이라 소베다 파워 토메 로빈이라 소베 아니 그 자체 조조 남한테 고소서 이거라 아니 가서데 지도 잡아야라는 공부를 줘다 아니 받았다 왔다 로베 산제 장로 소베 가서데 아니 자체 조 가서 삼보다 줘 남아나 고소서 조도 세다가 한게 진짜 자요 남아 최도 모두 남아나 거기서 어떤 공부하셔.
And so, as usual, then also we begin by setting up the visualization of the merit field. And at the center of this is the main figure of the merit field, the one who is greatly kind and skillful in means, our teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. And from that figure, light rays emanate and form the other all the other elements or members of the merit field. Initially, light rays go upwards and behind to form the consecrated practices lineage, at the head of which is Vajradhara. And then light rays to the right and to the left. To the right form the extensive practices lineage, which is headed by Lord Maitreya, and including notable lamas from that particular lineage, such as Arya Asanga and Arya Vasubandhu. And then on the left-hand side, the light rays form the profound view lineage, headed by Lord Manjushri, including such luminaries as Arya Nagarjuna, Master Chandakirti, Master Buddhapalika, etc. And then from the light rays that emanate from the central figure down to the front, just below his throne, are all the lineages, all the lineage lamas who have taught us, and at the center of that grouping is our own root guru.
What did it say? And the other thing is that the Samutaji, the Jaji, Lameki Shamdela, and Katang Shubaba, Mengaba, and Launipa Juba, so Tisham, the Jangulama Songa Juba, and Rangaja Lama, the Chunamoda Lama Lokote, Shamdela, and Judici Lazota, Lame, Jaju, and Kesa Sanjaton, and what the Takaja, near Sitting Jaso Jaju Raja, and Yentu Pao Karshu, Takaja, Soshi Masama Mabach, Ya, set up, Ranga Tago, and Rala Jincheve, and Jigo. That said the Pamane Chebe and saying, said the Pamane Chebe Dwari Dugan, send your time, Masama Mabach, quite you, some check. And Soshi the Dagi, Tuga ne, that you want about Tuga only. 왜서 빠도 매버 전에 신ram자는 내배 이시바 제한자네 아니 이시바 뭐스코라 tum소어드는 공부시.
And then on the left and right, at the feet of the two main lineages, being the extensive practices lineage and the profound view lineage lamas, you will find the three schools of the Kadampa lineage, the textual school, the Lamrim school, and the instructional school. And below them again, the grouping of the Geluk tradition and all the lineage lamas within that tradition, at the center of which is Lama Tsongkhapa. Then at nearby, in the vicinity of our own teachers and our own guru, the four classes of Tantra and the representational deities of those particular classes of the Anuttara Yoga Tantra, the Yoga Tantra set, the Charya Tantra set, and the Kriya Tantra set. And then again, below them, all the Buddhas of this fortunate eon, the Arya Bodhisattvas, the Kriya, the Shravakas, and the Pratika Buddhas, the Arhats, the Dakinis and Dharma protectors, etc., so that we are aware of the entire body of the merit wheel being complete and extant. And then also around us, we have all kind mother sentient beings from all the 6 realms of existence, and that they are aware of what's going on, and that we also see that the merit field members are marked by the 3 letters Om at the crown, at the throat, and Hung at the heart. And from Hung at the heart center, light rays emanate into the pure realms, inviting the wisdom beings which come and dissolve into all the members of the merit field. And then, as usual, too, we make sure to remind ourselves that as well as the merit field being all the members now, with the wisdom beings having dissolved into the merit fields, that it is a very busy scenario with emanations coming and going, fulfilling the purpose of sentient beings and then returning and so on. So, and also now we make the offering of the 7-limb practice plus mandala in order to purify negativities and to accumulate positive merit.
And then I did because of the somebody to get some to Shombadilla and you would do you against. And ya to in this chapter, that chapter on the and to the Java did to the Jajoga and good to Sojo to get it and a woman doing a martin and draw it to a Simja Tamjalpa to the marching. And the dog and take a Tomama Tibata Macha, what did the compassion what did the chen, what did the chen, that the dog again, Tibata, dancing Yamja Tamjapa, Changso, and what did the compassion, what and the Toshan that to you on the Tuesday Java, then to you the water there, nobody tell you, maybe she gets a little compassion of the what did the chen.
So that's this, of course, the generation of the merit field and the supplications of the merit field can be done with a great deal more detail and a great deal more extension as well, such as after as well as offering the 7-limb practice and the mandala, we of course go through refuge, generate the mind of enlightenment, and then we can offer the bath ritual to all the members of the merit field, offering clothing, perfumes, etc., and inviting them to have a bath, and not in any way to infer that they need to be clean or need to have something dirt or a stain to be clean, but it's rather for our practice, that knowing that we have so many karmic obscurations and negativities that we ourselves need to purify, that this is an effective way of doing so. And in the course of that particular bathing ritual, where we invite all the deities to come into a special blissful bathhouse with a sunken pool, and then they bath in that pool, and then all of the water that is used, it exits through 6 different holes in the bottom of that pool, and then as if a rain shower falls into all the different 6 realms of existence, and thereby purifying all the negativities and obscurations of all the different beings in those realms, as well as the degeneration of samayas with their guru and so on. All faults and all negativities are completely purified, and they from that they generate a sense of bliss, which again produces voidness, and they abide in the wisdom of non-dual bliss and voidness.
and they jungle lama zonga ba chubi juba de chila chiting go ya tion de and katama lama de ya chila chiting ya de jam jaya ni la pite and then kaso de ya de chila jo lama de chila chiting ya de jaw do cha de lama nga la mi ne kon to su jo ko tre che lama nga de and kaso jaw do cha de and kaso de lama do cha pa ti jam jaya lama do cha rang de cha lama de lama do cha ge tu ga khosol pa ya so sa zo de ko ba she ko tre che.
And then after the offering of the 7-limb practice and mandala, we can engage in the dissolution of the merit field once again. And here we dissolve the merit field from the bottom up, from one grouping into the next, until we reach the all dissolving into the lower part, all dissolving into our own root guru, who remains. And then from the left and right, the groupings of the Geluk tradition and the Kadamp traditions dissolve, and then they dissolve into the extensive practices and the profound view lineages, and then finally into the remaining figures of Lord Maitreya and Lord Manjushri on the right and the left. And then the consecrated practices lineage lamas dissolve into Vajradhara, so that for a moment we are left with the 5 central figures of the merit field, and focus there momentarily before again the dissolution continues with the Vajradhara dissolving, coming down to dissolve into the central figure of Guru Maninja Vajradhara at the center, and then Maitreya and Manjushri coming in from the sides to dissolve in, and then finally our own Guru coming up to the heart center of the central figure and dissolving into the central figure.
다들 so puso 다베다 구지다 라마라 통한도 차라서 트레주고다 통한도 차 디젤로고다 통한도 차라서 어디든지 so puso다 순대대 직체 어디든지.
And at this point we offer the stake-like prayer. My most divine Guru, Lord of the 4 Kayas, I make petition to you, Shakyamuni Vajradhara. My most divine Guru, Lord of unimpeded Dharmakaya, I make petition to you, Shakyamuni Vajradhara. My divine Guru, Lord of blissful Sambhogakaya, my divine Guru, Lord of sundry Nimanakayas, I make petition to you, Shakyamuni Vajradhara, etc.
근데 반대자에 라마를 다게 지워보는 가르치면서 고수도 무르서 젠다 담백가서 배 니백가서 쇼 셈백가서 때도 쇼는다 산제 고마마도 뭐들 제 소소 손을 가고.
Next, we set up a lotus sun and moon disk mandala seat on our own crown in preparation for inviting a replica of the central figure of the merit field, Guru Munindra Vajradhara, to come to be there. And we make the supplication verse, the invocation verse rather, 3 times. Glorious and precious root Guru, come take your lotus and moon seat placed here on my crown. Keep me safe in your kindness and bestow on me the attainments of your body, speech and mind. After the first recitation, the figure begins the journey, the second arrives, and at the end of the third, we have the certainty that they will remain with us until we attain the state of enlightenment.
담배 가서 뉴욕 스베 가서 때도 쇼다 산디아 고마마도 소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소소so
And so, with this knowledge of the Guru now remaining on our crown, until we practice. So that again, just emphasizing that the fact of having Guru Munindra Vajradhara on our crown and steadfast there is to ensure that we are able to have that support with us until we ourselves attain enlightenment, and that is something that we surely can rejoice about.
다간제 지bol라 가서데 라마토안 도장 안 지bol을 좀 받다가 란지 투주를 대화 동바 대돈이스바 이신 대동은 냠 가투이네 삼당토는 야고요래 가투이네 삼당토나.
And that in these occasions, in visualizations like this, it's very important to reflect on the fact of this rejoicing producing a sense of bliss and emptiness, and then the wisdom that we have of the wisdom of abiding in that non-dual bliss and voidness. To bring that to mind even is quite important at all occasions like this.
다다 먼저 대돈이스 시 다다게 가와가 요말 얘네 다 매바 이제가 또 동반이 고아도 수고도 요봐 동반이 고아도 수요도 동반이 고아들 삼로다는 대 동반대 동배 대와대 대돈이스 베이시 계속서 다가자 매바 이제가 삼로다에 어떻게
And so of course we are not at the stage of being able to experience such a non-dual bliss and voidness directly at the moment, of course not, but we do have some understanding of emptiness, and to be able to recall that sense of emptiness and then working at the level of imagination really of the bringing to mind our brief our limited understanding of emptiness, to imagine this wisdom of non-dual bliss and voidness, and to imagine that we are experiencing it.
다 어디 쳐. 안델라 다가자 야라도가 멘데자가 거네. 다 순대체. 루아 찾아와나 최 샤바다 제수이라 꾸셔서 겨와줘서다가 저 탐자다가 자주 친구 오세. 야라도가 배치 가서 다 찍게도 개좀 말이네. 다 가서 야라도가 찾아지 로라 참아체. 아니 어때든 지금 요섭서 고마신. 원 야라도가 거네 다 상동 제발할 때는 아니 다다 대기를 시르다 라그드나 세드면 또 맞투고 오고 투기를 대화통 대화 동밖에 대돈이스 베이시 계속 서서 어떻게 고마시 다시 시도고 어떻게.
And that at this point also now we can again offer the 7-limb practice plus mandala, and going through the different elements of the 7 limbs. From going for prostrating and purifying and then rejoicing, etc. And in all the different aspects of this, such as when we purify our negativities, that this sincerity of practice produces in our guru, on our crown, this sense of bliss, conjoined with the voidness, and there abiding in the wisdom of non-dual bliss and voidness again. And so in terms of the text, back to where we have arrived or reached, we have been discussing, of course, the general objective of generating the mind of enlightenment, and then thereafter engaging in the activities of the bodhisattva, and that and they include two different branches of practice, and one referred to as the practices for ripening our own minds, and they include, of course, what we have just been discussing, the 6 perfections. And then the second branch is the practices for ripening the minds of others, and these include the 4 ways of accumulating disciples, and that and so this is what we will be discussing at this point. Also, it's worth noting that the last of the 2 perfections, being perfection of meditation and perfection of wisdom, which were dealt with quite briefly at this point in the text, will be covered more extensively shortly. And the key point here, of course, is that as important as it is, of course, to research and find out how to generate the mind of enlightenment, what is the key to that is not to rest on our laurels having generated that mind of enlightenment, but to thereafter engage in the relevant activities associated with ripening and further developing that mind of enlightenment, namely the 6 perfections and the 4 ways of accumulating disciples.
다 신주 멤버 집에서 도용고부실 납조 다 신주 멤버 집에 도용고부실 납조들라 자 집에 라마라 검시 방안에 다가자 말씀제 탐제거도 유한이와 양다와 처럼 산제의 고마를 뭐지 진행해 토벌자 대체도 아니 다 도대결에 진송 대도 연주 당 그래서 대니 제수 주남기 년바를 마당 된죄당 된된이도
And so then the outline, which goes the second, the means of ripening the minds of others, the 4 ways of accumulating disciples. And again, bringing to mind that we have our guru on our crown. We reflect on indeed having how to attain the state of enlightenment quickly in order to fulfill the purpose of all sentient beings. And then this begins with a quote from the ornament for the Mahayana Sutras, which says, acting generously so that they will take teachings, speaking sweetly so that they will follow you, working for their benefit and practicing what you preach.
다 간절 와다 저기 제가 편바 줘봐라 대다 대화지 대화 양고지 매와는 편바 제도고 말봐 편바 제바도 와서 딱고다 대화 양고 쇼고 다 대화 소에라 탑 나서 중고로 탑 나서 중고래 다 이내 다 개치주의 편바 줘야돼 레와메 그저 라라 가서다 지 가서다 다른 예 파 편도 잡아나 제는 가서 편 도고서 된대 레와메 그 거다 lenda namila mita was ko gorta lenda ta sona ta ani regio mare ta lenda ta so chida chokora regio mare ke se bo shewa na lenda ta na chokora yego ta namila ma lenda namila mita namila ta so ta pena kibu chungu chosora chemana namila ta gro nami kewa chema ani kewa ya bos le nami ta gro ta lenda namila mita wa ko yore kewa chema kewa ya bol le gro ma ka tela pemba bashe tela pen to ta gara ti sa ta tela pen to ta gara ti ba chi wa de ji ke ta pena chimba ina kali cheba ina pen to chewa de tela pen to ta gara ngi ti sa wa chi ta tela pen to la tene 마오 발라 소소로 구샵 용에 시구르 용에 안 되네 그러고 매드는 지 좋아 다다데 가서나 다다데 지 가서 짐바서 다들 가르 보고 있네 요제를 가르 소소 젠토가 장다 젠토가 파 젠네 다 가르 가서나 짐바때는 젠네 다 피게들 소소 펜토토와 소투에지 소소 펜토토와도 소투에지도 다 지와 두잔 남라 칸라 강거게 요제 짐바스타 칸라 강거게 라라 요바 이나 젠토와 이나 아니 칸라 강거게다 요제 짐바체 안다 제워도 주네스타 소소게 워데네게 다 제워도 주서 소소게 마코바 당사 계자 말와 소소게 다 지파 지금 펜바 제대로 써야지 주로다 제가 펜바 제대로 써야지도 와다 가서 제워도 주 코도 뒤에서다 코도 도서는 람포보 제디 월데 계자 말에 코도 뒤에서다 랑게 펜 토소사 소투에치 어떻게 지금 됐다 뒤에
So this particular verse, we must interpret this very carefully and correctly, and that here, when we talk about the ways in which one accumulates disciples, and the whole point here is two key elements. One is that the way that we must only be thinking of benefiting others, and in order to be able to benefit others, the prerequisite is that we must create a good connection with others. And so this is what the first elements of the four ways are emphasizing, to be able to create those good connections. It's very, very important. And here, the motivation must be absolutely crystal clear. It can be absolutely no question of a sort of I will benefit you if you will benefit me afterwards. There's no question of having any expectations in return, or gaining some sort of gain or return from the effort you're putting in to make those connections with others. And not even in terms of a karmic outcome, because if we talk about the motivation of the smaller capacity being, they have some sort of expectation of a ripened result in having a positive human birth as a human being or a celestial being in the future. Here, this is not quite appropriate to have any sort of expectation. We must be concerned only with simply benefiting others. Simply benefiting, not adding anything onto that at all, especially not having any expectations in return. And so, in terms of gaining some sort of respect from others, of being elevated to some higher position within the group, that we cannot have anything like that. There's no kind of a sense of entering into a relationship with others out of any kind of sense of deception, whether a self-deception or otherwise. And so here it refers to acting generously so that they will take teachings. And here acting generously is really trying to provide whatever is necessary for these potential disciples, whatever their requirements are, to be able to provide for them in a completely non-deceptive way, not in order to have some sort of hold over that those people or to be put into a sense of a position of leadership or something within that group. It's purely emphasizing that it is only to benefit.
我的可是我只是他感觉这个南中国这怕这老百姓呢，按这么老百姓啥的，说是怕老百姓叫的，按这个说这个这把那给这些玩意呢的这个多大的主要叫老百姓，老百姓我说弄两个多，可是我说人话是可个样嘛，但现在了的中国现在没拍吧这去给这嘛的没，他可说没拍吧这个其他的，可说彻底给全部这个做个其他去了吧。 다 깨와 치마 개체 뭐 쓰는 되게 된데 그래와 매개스 거고요. 얘네 남이라고 요래. 가서 깨와 된데 제가 얘나가 하다 미 고마토야. 야나 배나 예수고 줄을 해변에 개그래서 그랬지. 다디고 남이라고 하기도 와. 세til라라고 해요 말이다. 매베나 남이라고 하기도. 다 장주세베 좀 남이라고 매개스 거고요. 다. 뒤 제가는 갈 남이 뒤 용거서 가서 편바 다가 라라 편도 소소를 편도하고 라고 매겐치 보고요다. 랜드 남인가 라고 매겐치. 다 된대지 중앙 인바이나 다 개세그 주변 집마스가 차고 열어 봐. 개세그 주변 집마스가 돼. 심지어 탐제게 도도다. 산제 고마토베쳐도 왔다 편바 주기네. 라나 배 기르시고요 봐. 라 산제 고마토에다 샹라 편도에 치고요 봐. 랑 기르요 봐. 왔다. 라 산제 고마토에다 샹라 편배쳐도 지도다 신뢰 잡아라 봐. 现在找我的这印度我大概在连的那边了但我这的多做那几步的做那嘛就我这他们玩吧用不多我这从这里就喷把的叫老板来接的刚刚说的按这个说对吧有个点嘛接呢我这弄两个多一块老板媳妇接的你点的多是我这先就要吧的这个是的确的缺的挺多啊差不多的特别特别缺的挺多我这媳妇的俺那就米子娘的家接 이제는 나한테가 남발이 되는 대바 쳐볼 심지어 탐색을 되는 쪽이 인생 명지 켈링 게 여러 오 뒤다 퉁으면 도 섭섭 하고 가지고 깔리깔리 좋았다 다쳤대 이 제고도 와 왔다 대줄 때 뺄라고도 와
And so, yeah, we must really, first of all, recognize, indeed, often what is mixed in with our motivation when we normally help another. That at some point there's some sort of expectation of at least a sense of appreciation or something in return, isn't there? And that if the one who we are aiding, helping, whether it's giving advice or any other thing or helping them with material things, if that sort of appreciation is not forthcoming, and then we pass judgment on that. And so this sort of thinking can't be any part of a bodhisattva action. And indeed, so therefore no expectation is the name of the game here. And that in terms of it being a Dharma action of a Mahayana caliber, it has to be pure benefit, just the purest form of a benefit, and that no even expectation of a ripened result, even though that's the case, that's going to happen. And so, not like in terms of the lesser, smaller capacity beings hoping for a positive rebirth of Christianity in heaven and so on. Here, this is certainly we have no expectation of anything in this life, any sort of payback in any shape or form in this life, and that from the idea is that of course we are wanting to attain enlightenment in order to benefit sentient beings. But the weight of our emphasis is on the benefit to sentient beings, with no expectation of wanting that expectation of enlightenment from it. And so here, having a motivation like that, free of expectation and fully kind of categorized, qualified by pure benefit, is a bodhisattva act of generosity. And that must be clear. We must clearly understand that. because if we are not really paying attention to it in this way, we're not really making aware of that, our motivation will be, as it were, tainted by lesser expectation and so on. Or, that we'll have some sort of pinching effect on our mind if our desire for appreciation isn't fulfilled and so on. And so here we must understand that if I call myself a Buddhist, certainly if I call myself a Mahayanist, I cannot have any such expectation at all. That would be completely at odds with the essence of the Mahayana ideal, and certainly not suitable at all.
Namba insera tenwa chimbo yin la gre ina jidan de da tugu de pa to do it get chimbo that what there is and the name sometimes also da wala da le dang bo re dang bo chambo yo wa ja pa ro ba che kan sam so de ya chambo me ba cha e de yong lu da yong lu ba da de yong go de de ga re chimo oh jika nga gu ga ya bo shi bu zo pen do je dang ala gu ga de che yo ma re ga re sna dang ni chambo yo ma re yes 카스냐마데 먼저 타메와는 교회직을 아카 냐망에 로바체도 지금도 삼자 딩거와 팀마테 마체네 디디오 갈라 고급 야고 조성하니 참부 요래 데레 게 코로나 로바체 고급 조성 당갈로 로바체 고급 배치 공부래 이나 야다 마음바 참부 체나 나 로바체도 바치기 다 단단게 로바체나 코로나 로바 링기 말와 참부메나 로 코로나 고위나 링기 말와 아 당냐망 갈라 고급 배하고 조성 어디서 영어마게 탑시체 디바나 모두 키우다 냐마로 바체 아니 치서 마찬가지나 아카 냐마로 바 마체나 딱딱 인수 교바케기도 다 교바케도 아니 랑이 개와디 팬토 마소아 팬마도 발라 랑이 냐마 개와 제바트나 다들 디파사소아 다 딜레 다 냐마가라 참부 여자 고급 배하고 중화랭게 프라로 바체 토소 닌제 다 진짜 마겠으제네 다 개인적인 거니 또서 마찬가지 차바래 근데 인사 단계로 빠지나 프라링게 말에 다 아카 다 마음 받을 때 양조로 받쳐 도와줘 영화 쇼스 아니 냐마 제도는 가는 고급 약간 중소상 근데 가와 검토가 있나 아니 나를 소소로 받쳐 받지 내가 차고 요 말와 아니 영웅이 그러 주고 말와 어떻게 좀 보시자
So this more is awareness of how we look at ourselves, how we regard ourselves as Buddhists, as Mahayanists and so on, is not something casual. It's something that we should remind ourselves and be highly aware of at all times. It's very, very important. For example, if we are in good relations with someone, we're friendly with somebody, we offer help. Then later on, we fall out with them, and so there's often a sense of they are not friendly with me now. There's some sort of dispute, and one might enter into kind of thinking about how you regret helping them in the past. And so this is unfortunate, and it's certainly not the proper way of thinking about these things if one is a Buddhist. Because here, one must first of all, in the scenario where this has happened, so you had good relations with somebody, friendly, you've been helpful towards them, now there's been a falling out and there's some distance between. And so here one reflects on how wonderful it was to be able to help that person. It was wonderful to have that opportunity to do so in the past. And the only regret that should be entertained is that, oh my goodness, there'll be less opportunity for me to help now that there is some distance between us. That's unfortunate, and that we be able to patch up our relationship, and so that I can again take every opportunity to benefit in the future. And so it's very important to put that in the right context, and that to kind of go, oh, the only regret is now my opportunities to help that person will be kind of rare, and kind of like, I don't like that. That makes me feel uncomfortable. And so here, that the objective is initially to avoid any opportunity of the mental afflictions arising, to having regretting one's past virtue, which not only, of course, destroys that virtue, but also not destroys but damages that virtue, but also collects the negativity. And so that's the first port of call. And then we should have never regret having done a virtue in the past, and then pray that we will have more opportunity to benefit that particular individual or all sentient beings in the future in order to make it a positive thought.
meaningful and this Shaba Trolatang, so Trolatang, because so some Tanda, Mashiba Chilla Tene, and Trola Dieta, Dilatin Yomu Kuchai Chumutua. Timoto, that this psychological Trotan, the Yakuja Mashiba Yina, and social Jora.
And so, again, we must really have our thinking set on what is the most psychologically sound way of interpreting our reality in this particular example. So here, not to do anything to in other words damage or degenerate the virtue that we have engaged in the past, and to understand that any benefit that we do engage in, if it is conjoined with an expectation of something in return, then that is a virtue benefit that is fragile and at risk in the future of being damaged. And so here we have to make sure that the benefit that we do is pure, that we have it's not conjoined with some sort of hopes or expectation for repayment or payback in the future, and having the psychology of our virtue really well looked after and protected from any degeneration or damage.
Chola to it, Tina Tepa Chibi Chola to it, that jet to a jet, that Shung to the Tamazu Shimachura, was Shula Lopton Jabba Jum's or Dirwa. Tilla Tena Tosu Namju Jieti, Cheda Tuba Chag the Chalmoto, Cheda Tuba Chayete, Tepa Chibi Chola Tuba Chag the Chalmoto, the Sanjay Jula Togo to Togomoto. What are together Chabachan and Jogotuna and Mutuna Yajata Totobasuya, Jogomoduna and Candas Jogomodo, Hakovatona and Moldova the Melasokoich.
And so, after all, this is the purpose of our study here, to ensure that what we engage in is most beneficial, that we can make it. And of course, we're, engaging in acts of benefit on quite a frequent level, constantly, really. And so, it's really behoves us to ensure that, on the one hand, that we those acts of benefit are in line with our Dharma motivation, and in particular with the Mahayana motivation, and so that they become the acts of a bodhisattva, the Mahayana motivation, and that they are become causes to attain the state of enlightenment. And so this is really what we're studying in order to be able to do, to really refine the thought process into the action processes, and to gain the maximum from them in terms of pure motivation.
And do what to Juna, that's also change and so so 가서라 진호도 줄네 코도 되다 아니 로벌 마와다 간제지 레다 로벌 마와서다 다 간제지 리퍼다 유튜버 아니 셰티에다 아니 제티에 용거다 로아 로벌 마와다 그제 로벌 마와놈 루리고나 차체다 코라게 삼로단단다 지단다 되게 아니 문에 전에 그 코라가 서버 코라 핑크도 된거다 패처럼 뇌 되겠지 안에 된데 누구 여바데 아니 리페 때라 밤에 좀 생각 돈에 때라 밤에 다 제외 돈에 좀 생각 때라 밤에 안에 다 못해도 같이 왔다 가자 못해도 같이 왔다 아니 못해네 다 디제수 쓰네 아니 네버 마우스도 다 간제지 레다 간제 딜라 다 지금 펜배체도 아니 지금 다 간제지 야디 되바다 투베 돈에 디 삼주다 감도 몇번 삼바 바라니와 신배 돈에 아니 배바 죽다지
And so then to be able to provide the requirements of these disciples, that kindness is then hopefully to create that initial good connection, to place them under your wing, so to speak, and they become part of your circle, as it were. And then also we look after the ways in which we speak, our incorrect utterances and sayings and thoughts have been eradicated by our adherence to what's said in the scripture and through reasoning, and to kind of really knowing that what was possibly not entirely beneficial in the past or harmful in the past is now going to be confined to what is purely beneficial to another. And this, of course, involves a great deal of not only self-knowledge, but also awareness of who one is speaking to, knowing their individual habituations, dispositions, and personalities, and so on, and so that one is able to use the correct word. So when we talk about here speaking sweetly, it's not only speaking sweetly, but really speaking with a great awareness and insight and intelligence as well.
아니 다 어디지? 다 가자 최대배 된 냠수 레베 된 줘봤다. 최대배 된데 아니 다다디 되자디 아니 냠수 레네다 되다 투바 줘봐. 왔다디 요 투바 제치 되다 투바 줘봐 요 투바 줘봐.
And the next of the four ways is talking about here. It's the translation is working for their benefit, but here it's the ensuring how the disciples now engage in the practice of what is of the Dharma that is being taught, and so that they are sincere, or they are engaging in really practicing what is being taught.
다 된줘봤을 가자다 된줘봤다 가자 짐바 녀마르마와 된줘봤어 된줘봤다 가자 다 최다 투바 제스도 다 가자 제 무엇으로 규네 다 녀모를 갑대 자이지 최서做的个是녀모를 갑대 자 통주의 최 이메 따교다 좀 더 좀 빼 넣을 때 그래 미타나 최래서 하자 근데 야고 삼로도 녀모 샤워 줘도 빼면 보여라 다 최근에 이 매제 녀모와라 무슨 균에 녀모라 팽도에 녀모라 누구도 다 무슨 균에 녀모라 누구도나 다 최래 무슨 균에 녀모라 팽도나 뭐다 최 말이야 또 뭐도 성성 너니 아니 최 인샤샤 제 저대만 보죠 아니 최 인승아 최 인승지 왔다 가서 최임에 따사데 녀모를 갑자기 가서 먼저 라마라 잡서 산제 최라 잡서 최도 가래 녀모는 이제 뭐 다음에 더 배셔라들 왔죠 뒤샤기도 와 어디로 다디 먼저 뭐 최고디 개체 버려도 와 뭐저도 어다
And so when we talk about this process of this generosity for the potential disciples and speaking, wisely to them and so on, is to make sure that one is, and they are, engaging in actions that are in harmony with the Dharma. And so that which really qualifies as the Dharma action, we must be very, very clear and very, very careful about, because what often looks like the Dharma, and that one can pose as the Dharma practitioner, it may not be qualified as Dharma at all. So one must absolutely ensure that when we talk about engaging in that which is in harmony with the Dharma, that Dharma action is both the direct and the indirect eradication and the minimization of mental affliction. And so anything that is, we must be always posing the question to ourselves when we are about to embark on an act of Dharma, that we say, is this action actually supporting mental affliction, or is it opposing mental affliction? And it must fall into the category of the latter. It must be opposing mental affliction. And that when we go for refuge to the Guru, when we go for refuge to the Dharma, what we're actually saying there is that we are dedicated now to opposing mental affliction. And that should equate to us as the same meaning as engaging in Dharma practice. On the other hand, we may look to the biographies of the great gurus in the past, great masters in the past, great practitioners and adepts in the past. It's often the description of their behavior looks very strange to us, very weird and very astounding in many ways.
Yeah, especially some yogi.
And especially some yogi, that on the surface we may think, oh my goodness, that is very contradicting the Dharma, but in fact they are acting perfectly in opposition to the mental afflictions, and that they are doing so skillfully, and they quickly therefore are able to attain the state of enlightenment.
최이 사제 아니 직된 최계라 바지 직된 최계라 침바이나 아니 세대 되어 봐 세대 되어이나 기부 충분 최고는 차요 말 최고는 차요 말보다 아니 나라도 민 대바 제보인 라 상계의 전장이 라바 있나요 안티가는 상하게 냠내 지금 라바 있나요 아니 소소 무엇을 가요 라이고 냠내 세대 냠내 제대로 직된 최계의 상황도 망고 빼요. 다들 삽사저 맞잖아데 나로는 짜지 저 미국 주고 주토야 말봐. 다 소소 때 너무 그 녀보 저거도 저모도 소소 녀모스는 못 쳐봐지. 뒤 녀보 가려 다음에 또 배셔라 못 쳐봐지. 안 다음에 또 배셔라면 저만 차기도 처음에도 뭐 들을 때는 다 쳐주면 잡고 왔다. 되면은 소소 거 같은 거 쳐 지금 이제 녀소 유튜브 저한테 그러와.
And so yes, we must really be at all times extremely careful to ensure that we have a self-honesty with regard to what is behind all of our actions, and that otherwise you can see how easily one can fall into self-deception. And so here, something that might look like Dharma on the outside, even to our own perception, is really only something mixed up with the 8 worldly concerns. And if that is the case, then also it is only wrapped up in the concerns of this life. And that leads to the conclusion that it doesn't even live up to the motivation of a small capacity being. And and then we might call ourselves, the Mahayanists, or we might be somebody who says, oh, yeah, I'm a tantric practitioner, etc., etc., and then you're only involved in gross self-deception. because you haven't even lived up to the motivation of a smaller capacity practitioner. And so here it's very, very important that the mental afflictions are not necessarily something that we're waiting for other people to point out to us. That we ourselves must be aware of what are our own mental afflictions, and to what extent are they operating within our mind at any given moment. And that's it. Here, this really calls for really, sometimes very brutal and insightful self-honesty, because you know that if we fail to do this, otherwise we are probably in an unknowing way engaging in dangerous self-deception.
가서나 뭐저데 녀모는 녀버도 녀모 녀보다 담에 또베 셔라래 담에 또베 셔라래 셔요 말이 녀모냐 다 뭐서 균에 담에 또베 셔라게 다 냠랭게 뭐서 균에 담에 또베 셔라다 저와 차기도 차기모도 그때 담에 또베 셔라다 저와 차기도나 다 소소 제의 최저를 열다 담에 또베 셔라다 저와 셔라 맞아 왔자 단진라 숙차 저와 차기도나 다 코에 줄을 줘대고 여러면도 다 최자래요 말이야. 다 되게 무슨 모터바 제전다 아니 강투도 그다 남래를 제와이나 아니 소소가 가제 최제와스가 지금 니 최지기도 통마도 개점 말이야. 랑게 최지기 딱딱지 줘대기로 와. 딱딱지 줘대기래. 어째
Therefore, each of us must become very familiar with the analysis of to what extent our minds are mixed with mental affliction, and indeed to be operating the main and direct antidote to those mental afflictions, which is the wisdom of selflessness. And that here indeed the question can often simply boil down to what extent am I able to oppose the mental afflictions that are in my mind stream? Am I opposing them in connection with the selfless wisdom of selflessness, or is there no connection between what I'm doing and the wisdom of selflessness? And so here it's very, very important that we are always applying that particular antidote to our mental afflictions, because of course that without it we have to conclude that our actions are in some way mixed up with self-grasping, the self-grasping entity. And so it's important simply to recognize this, and therefore to apply it at all times when our actions require this sort of analysis, and indeed to really commit ourselves to the best practice.
안 되어봤다. 되어봤어도 최다 투바 최다 소고도와 최다 투바 소고도와 어디 최투겠지 배주 땅투겠지 되는데 냠서 렌 투겠지 더 주고도와 어디
And then the fourth of the four ways is to really as the potential teacher to practice what one preaches. And that means that whatever we relate to others, whatever is taught, that we ourselves must practice and must be seen to practice in harmony with those teachings.
그러와 셀라 때마다 랑기 장 냠줄 레베 안 되투바 다 되죠 저번에 되는 시죠 랑기 되는 시 투바 냠 삼로 땅투게 냠내 지게 되투바 때다 현대 집에 탑상본 된남 라테네 습제 탐제 안다 민족을 라블 거버 지기스 거버 자워스
Oh, sorry. Yes. So again, I was emphasizing the third of the ways of accumulating disciples there, And that was in terms of what is being taught for others to be able to put that into practice, for these disciples to put that into practice, and that is working for their benefit. And then the fourth is that one, most crucially, practices oneself what one is teaching to others, what one is encouraging others to practice, that one is engaging in that practice for oneself, and that one is engaging in actions that are in harmony with the Dharma. So it points out that these ways of working for the benefit of others are an excellent method for leading others to the path of growth towards liberation.
Same thing ne mo shimela ma do ba ani che same thing ne an ko sa same jen da same ye bu ji ba te ke chu shi re do ba same thing ne same jen la same ye bu ji me ba yin ba ina je wa yo ba ne phen do che tu ba wa ro ta de phen do che tu ba da same thing ne same jen la ani same jen sing de ta ka de nam ju ta ding ge la ma bu chen sa de ko so ju le na nga tu ge da ta shin nyam je ko na de so sa lo ba ne same jen sa da ha jang ge same ge bu su ye 다가 내생가 안에 라젠쟁이 겨 셴젠쟁이 윤댕이 토나 안에 삼로다네 안에 셴제버스네다 간짜치 개체버리샤 안에 딜라 때네 라신니가 되어 타치버스 좀 두고 도와 선 라신니가 되어 타버 라라 때네 라신니가 되어 타치버 두트에 거라니 뭐 랑게 되어 타치버 두트에 요말 다 라신니가 되어 타치버 가만히 용거도서 셴라 때네 용거도 와 근데 셰드 오저 짜쳐 못 쓰네. 근데 뭐다? 제가 나서 미지찌개 나라 차샤와 있는 쇼가 라네 많이 봐도 아니 미지티 차사 저기 사회 토에 고에 대사다 민 롭종 강가 셰나 되는 거다. 근데 직대가 자와져 삼단 니만 직 삼단. 아니 토마 매버렸다. 다들 코알라 마다는 못 주는 디나시래. 코알 매버려야 셰라 마데마 타 코라면도 와. 란주고게 미카제 셰인치 뭐 미카세가 전부 미카세 혼자 쳐보 줘봐 있네 셰메는 용할 거라도 언제 셰메는 혼자 가려 버려 용할 거라면 또 없다 라바치가 똑바 용거 말고 니 거기도 와 그 용할 거라면 또 와 다들 셰스다 진짜 보지 못해 야나 양도 삼로다네 다들네 타바다 탐색해 봐 세도다 탐매버다 먼저 상계에서 짜쳐 보시고 저래도 상계다 샘제니데 냐바래 지금은 지금 상계가 맞다. 네가 고고 열었다. 네가 그 전에는 총고도 와. 다 된대 자리 상계 가서 개처 쓰고 요만데 심지어 개처 쓰고 해지. 심지어 개처 뭐 하면 원하는 거 상계를 잡수 줘야게 잠도대 택제 잡도 말이. 랑게 상계를 잡수 줘야 잡도대 택제 잡도 임바지나 심지어 개처 쓰고 그랬다. 심지어 개처 뭐 쓰고 잡도 도나테 택받지 잡도 말이. 다들 먼저 디시베 토네 아니 심지어서 컨택 개쳐 버리셔
So again, reminding anybody who considers themselves as a Mahayana practitioner, someone living up to the Mahayana ideal, must have sentient beings at front and foremost, and that they're not just the importance of developing a connection with sentient beings, but to have as like a preordained deep closeness already established with all sentient beings regardless. And so this is extremely important to be able to put oneself into a situation where one can be of a maximum benefit. And here, of course, we have developed a training in this through the processes of developing the mind of enlightenment through the 7 cause and effect instruction and the equalizing and exchange of self and others instruction and so on. And here we've understood on the one hand the faults and how pervasive the self-cherishing attitude is, and that how that kind of keeps us separated from others, and really it is a major indictment really of our behaviors towards other sentient beings. And then the wonderful benefits of considering the mind which cherishes others, and that the kind of knock-on beautiful benefits of that attitude, and developing that attitude more and more comprehensively. And so here it's really understanding the importance of, on the one hand, eradicating that former self-cherishing attitude, and always promoting the latter in the mind which cherishes others. And that's here to be able to choose the one over the other, and understanding that it is only through really transforming our attitude towards sentient beings, and recalibrating our sense of our connection with sentient beings, that we can fulfill the purpose of ourselves and others. And that really the whole notion of attaining enlightenment is done so only in dependence upon sentient beings. And so in all at all stages of practice, the importance of sentient beings cannot be underestimated. And that here, in terms of just living in the course of one single lifetime, from morning till night, we need examine or analyze not very much before we can understand to what extent we rely on the kindness of sentient beings, directly and indirectly, just to sustain a life. And so this is something that is very, very important, and for us to really study, to research, and to kind of constantly reinforce in our own minds and our own opinions. And this is so important to kind of give sentient beings this wonderful kind of like elevation in importance, and that to understand that no matter what other being there is, they cannot reach any level of respect or reputation or power in any realm or any realm of life without it depending upon other sentient beings. And so here, however important a person is, they can only maintain that level of importance in dependence upon sentient beings. And therefore, the sentient beings must be not only respected, but deeply appreciated. And indeed, when we go for refuge to the Buddha, we go for refuge to the Buddha, if we don't have that sense of the importance of sentient beings as implicit in that refuge, then we cannot be said to go for a Mahayana refuge. So it's not simply going for refuge to the Buddha. It's also with that implicit understanding, that implicit acceptance of the absolute importance of sentient beings in all levels of my spiritual development. And so that's important, to make sure that what we are going for refuge for is fully informed and is a fully developed Mahayana refuge.
다음에 생각 지금 샘제스 개첨 맞아 랑 주고 삼로단 대기나 알 세딜레네 기바스가 요거 말봐 소소 주고 나나나나 삼로단 대게데 안 배체 레바 교회에 내가 된대 요래 나나나 삼로단 대게데 아니 수분 나사이네 요다 비자 체리기 제바 제원도 아니 나나나 망불랍되게 미디 탁세가 나서 마요에 내가 도스 शेख तो सिंह तो वो ता तेजु का तेरे रवाता ना ता राले शेख के चाल से तो अने रांगे कांगे दे से तो बच्चे यो रवा रांगे कांगे से तो बच्चे कांगे 매번 차에 만 khoa 바르와 कांगे 요래 ता राले शेख के चाल से तो 소소 कांगे 또 충족을 찾대 그러와 안데 또 알리 지금 최 자체 보시다 제토고 맨에 라레 शेख के चाल से zam게 샘시라 고양아 차가 요러와 딜라 되네 아니 생각하게 나서 같은 데 용도란 요가 용고 요래 Then that temperature lamp namle chicken that shame over that. Rally shen get your sin attack and run yato shen chever sumala tena and ranshin nigger don't touch much. Geshe so did Manda shed a chisel to a single danger that Chiva Rank Dutini killed. Get a mangush share your manes. Dagje Jedas, Naranzo Chiva Tameva, so get a but condition those. Cavalli Teto. To us and get them dead, the Yamaha the Chivarwa, Yina, Ran Yard, Shencheval Semalatene, Ranshin nigger don't touch about. Tape Loni don't do just to your death. To us and get them dead as a big culture chatter, check the Millamatova. Because she take a task to the chatted one. Not chilling, killing it to them, number two, Naman chicken to the sham water. She lam just with Namshat to the Namsula Rans and Yakoma talk to what you do your one. That number two, that's on the machine, Sanka John there's she take it that touching. Simple so stick it one. The man and carton that the Bakanga Shah Mutua Shaktua.
So it's clear on the one hand that where people dismiss the importance of others, but place that all importance on themselves, such that it's a kind of a me, constantly me world. You can see how clearly that can invite not only psychological difficulties, but also physical ailments. It's kind of saying that those who refer to the personal pronoun constantly I and me have more danger of generating situations like high blood pressure, heart difficulties, and so on. And there's research that backs this up. And so, but those who place more emphasis on others than themselves will find more peace of mind and more genuine contentment. And so this is those who maybe don't even adhere to any spiritual tradition or have very little spiritual inclination. And so what more benefit then for somebody who's trying to maintain the Mahayana ideal of really placing the importance of life on for all one's appreciation and importance to others and on others, and considering them to be more important. And so Master Shantideva points this out wonderfully well in the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, where he really describes, he said, what need we say very much? Look at the difference for the Buddha who, look at the difference between us, the ordinary childish ones who just search for our own good and our own benefit, to the Buddha who work for the benefit of others. So it's patently obvious. He attained enlightenment and we're still stuck in cyclic existence. And so this is the same. We must really work for this kind of objective to really establish that all other sentient beings are of vital importance.
Pemba Tuta de Pemba Tuba Letana, Rana Dagishuan, Lenda, Namila Mitovacha, Pemba Tubuta. Lenda, Namila Mibers, Lenda Namila Mitovacha, Pemba Matuana, Tepachi Chalu Marwa. Tata Ran Yawato, Shechever to a Chedi Chalu Marwa. Casa Lena Rewache Yana, Namila Rewachava, and Tepachi Chachatu. That did go to Shibachan called 차상저 마시바 이나 이네야 지고서 제부 대화 요바 용거 말아 다 제부 대화 용어 고 용도 다 라레 현재와서 편바 주변 가라 렌다 남일을 미다와 주고 또 렌다 남일을 비바자 다 편바 제바 다가랑 그 즉사 다 편토바다 다가랑 게 즉사바치 다가랑 오다 내 편토에티 내 링게 pero 상게네 가르치고를 셔 편바 주변 들어와 상게네 돈다를 갖다 펴봐 주겠다. 답 소소 상 마제바 이네 단데 내가 쓰이네 상게 유튜브에 가로 임바 이네 주데 펴봐 좀더 주고 또. 다 펴봐 줘봤다가 랑게 다 직사봤다. 직사봤다. 가르쳐 뭐하지? 뉴도 산제 습제 탐제거든 뉴그 산제 고마토베치 뭐하지부터 랑라 제부된데 좋아치도 뭐하지 말이야. 어디 되면서 신고도 와. 그죠? 근데 인바이자 아니 지금 지바이네다 냐바마와 인바이네다 구샵제와 이네다 가르제와 인바이나야 그 라와 메켄치 렌다 남이 그 라와 메켄치 제거했지. because the jed nge lengen my responsibility nge lengen sam ye lengen nge lengen res na kaza tekba chebe chue chigen jero wati nge lengen res.
So the attitude which works to establish the purpose of oneself and others, and that what does this look like in practice? How does this seem in practice? And it is in the actions that we engage in are beneficial, and that benefit is not in any way infused with expectation of some sort of repayment or ripened result. Only then can they be classified as Mahayana activities, Mahayana actions. So it's very, very important that we don't engage in benefit with some sort of expectation of any kind of result, because result is even involves some sort of self-grasping, a self-cherishing element. And so this is something that we don't want to have any part of when we talk about the Mahayana actions. And here, that engaging in beneficial action is and should be its own reward, without anything else involved. And so this is enough. And we should therefore dedicate that action again to attain enlightenment for the benefit of sentient beings, with that emphasis. Simply to be of benefit to sentient beings is enough. And here, with any kind of respect that we give, or generosity that we engage in, any kind of activities, we must not have any expectation with regard to them or connected with them. And so from the Mahayana point of view, as a Mahayana practitioner, one must see all acts of benefit towards others as simply one's responsibility. They're saying, this is my responsibility as a keeper of the Mahayana ideal, and if benefit accrues or eventuates, that's enough, that's fine. I don't have any expectation other than that. But it is my responsibility at all times to engage in the act of benefit.
간제저는 가서 먼저 저게 삽삽 맞아라 녀모도 빼 중고도 녀모 중고 요도 녀모 고급 생그래. 대자 가서 심플제 심플제 아니 최대 투바 저도 했잖아. 방법제는 최대 투바 저도 했지 개점을 삼을 먹어야 담아다들 담아이나 아니 녀모 줄을 저대 그래. 녀모 줄을 저대 뭐 가서 녀모도 빼 중고 근데는 고급 생 가서는 먼저게 삼로 땅땅 지다 앞에 토만 매번 냠도 요데 A to Z 하고요. 딱 먼저 딱 하고요. 봐. 고급스 용거래. 고급스 거. 대 고급도 맞춰 왔지. 개점벌에 도와.
And so this emphasis is important because of the how sly and how smart our mental affliction is, and how how they are used to our ways of thinking. And so here it's very important just to keep it simple, and just to engage in actions that are in harmony with the Dharma. As long as we establish that, just engage in it, no need to complicate it anymore. Why? Because when we do, the mental afflictions will seize that opportunity. They have such a familiarity with our thinking from A to Z and they will see the opportunity and in kind of like infect our motivation. So very, very important that we keep it simple, straight, in harmony with the Dharma.
내가 전부 개면서 아니 소소 삼보 당당 돌아는 동서지 ken에 대디스 콜흘려 되거든요. 알흘려 되게 콜거 되거든요. 나이 되기스. 다 카페 자서 다가랑 잡다. 뭐도 삼보 돈에 맞아 아니 콜고가 먹으라도 것도 와. 최대 도마래도 되면 최 이면 그랬지만 최대 도마래도 되면도 뭐다 이마이나 뭐다 대체 다 제도 받아 소소 가고 구급 좀. 직전에 마음 걸 제마도 왜 고급 된데 마요에게 내가 열봐. 아 다들 고급 유료 걸 제트 받아. 가고 뭐하지? 다래. 다래도.
So as the great Kadampa Lamas used to say, that they say, I have no other work to do except to hold the spear of mindfulness against the arising of the mental afflictions. And that when they are relaxed, then I can relax. When they are uptight, then I have to be highly uptight and aware and attentive. And that when opportunities to help are there, I take them, rejoice, dedicate. That's fine. That's all. And then back to watching the mind.
다른 가서 배나 지금 먼저 검대대 현재 검대 전바다 시신다 된저 장바지에 좀서做的了 남주 삼로 당당 지단데 최도 투버 조만도다 아니 제실이 남의 제체도로 와 아니 최도 투버 이게데 아니 롱만도 주에체도 당 검자가 요래 아니 거기다 저와 숙청부 속에 삼로 때다 예부 속에 요래 아니 전바다 시신됐다 최도 투버 용도 용거부터 갑도 남의 제도 가서 배주 땅 쪽에 제도 엔디 배주 땅 거 열어 다디 가바이네 검자마자 계자만 가뚜이네 제시가 심보데 계체부터 디 맞잖아 아니 녀모 베게 장바게 뭐저게 아니 또 겨도 샤부터 쳐주고도 와 아니 디자 아니 하고 받잖아 아니 제시가 심에 계체부터 와 좋아 아니 용사 거기는 고스물이 다 류가 있음데 요것도 와
So in this topic of developing in the topic of developing mental quiescence, we are told quite a bit about the two mental factors of mindfulness and alertness and how key they are to being able to develop good meditation, good concentration. But in fact, we should really appreciate these two mental factors at all times. It's very, very important that in all situations that we use our mindfulness and our alertness to examine and to check that our motivation for any action is in harmony with the Dharma, to what extent it is in harmony with the Dharma. So it's very, very important that we become skilled using these two mental factors and use them carefully. Otherwise, it's very, very easy for a mental affliction, as we have pointed out, to as being so sly, so aware of our whole disposition, that they will rob our virtue very easily. And so here, the mindfulness and alertness are, the job is they act as guardians to the actions of our body, speech, and mind.
요거도 벤 차샤는 알아서 지금 정부 정부 나라 인바네는 남미 나라 인바이네다 아니 지 다들 참고 전에 깨져 시에 대배 지가라 아니 식배주 당다 남주 때다 지게 아니 요새 친구들 연구도 와 그래서 다들 제시가 스마트도 용되게 열어 봐 제시가 야고서는 요래도 연구 요 말이 아니 요래 나와네 샤바디게 제시 야고 다 삽사 친구다 용문 깨겠다 삽사잖아 아니 그 지게 제어도 샤바디게 콜레 잡죠 지게 좀 해나 거 깨도 말 와. 아니 거기에 이제 제시가 맞서도 아니 남의 그 돈에 아니 요래 연구도 와. 요래 연구다 당이 수 점대배 제 라바당 하제 막고제 파도데 가 요마르와 거대 담 도샤기로 왔다 굿바이 요마르 가서 간전 연구였으나 제시가 맞서도 용되기도 와. 제시가 쓰면 연구 말와.
And so we can see how easily the kind of the will of mental affliction can be fueled and given free rein especially in situations where we are sometimes meeting with friends and engaging in friendly conversation and discussion, and before long something is said, maybe just to one word, can cause a tremendous conflict and trouble. And this is because we haven't really set our mind with mindfulness and alertness, and that if we are aware of promoting our mindfulness and alertness, these kinds of situations will not arise. And so it's kind of like we need that support from our mindfulness and alertness. Otherwise, trouble can so easily arise. We probably have experience of this. That you meet, there's the hugging, and there's the hail fellow, well met, and then even when the dispute arises, you don't even say goodbye when they're leaving. So it's kind of very important that we use mindfulness and alertness in all situations.
어디지? 어디지? 다들 제시가 쇼디. 하도도 다른 거저 태화체배 최지게서도 먼저 샘제 탐제를 편바 주면서도 샘제 탐제 다른 것도 편바 주토 하러 요 말이야. 이내 삼로 되게게 야고 심자. 이내다 고조서도 라데 저와 유견되게 주고요. 비비자 조금 뭐시 맞텔래 주고로. 다 되게다 저와 야고죠 소마도 이나 안에 샘제 탐제를 편토면서 다 되게 차버다. 다 다들 소소를 저와 유견 되게 안에 지금 가서도 안에 되네 안에 샘제 탐제를 편토 규디 되네 주고도 와. 아니 당고시라 익세대 되네. exam sort of that dinner and consider dinner pass yabocho and then chat joya what I dig go simple tamja la rang chila you can me jeba ina and yoma ta simple tamja so chila you can water and what chila you can what today and what dig the wash beton and wash beton that simple tamja pamper to big and pamper to you sour to tango yoma to sour and you maza the other chila you can today the maza de chen and then ribe and jackie gurwa
And so the Mahayana ideal has its focus, its object as all sentient beings, the benefit of all sentient beings. And as we pointed out here earlier, what's first and foremost in terms of benefiting others is to create good connection with all sentient beings. Without that connection, there's really not much opportunity for us to be of benefit. And so at the outset, we must create this good connection with sentient beings. And also, in terms of all sentient beings, that who are those all sentient beings in the context of our practice? They are those who are next to us, those who are near to us, and that we use those group that are our associates, that are our familiars, as our testing ground to see how we really are living up to the Mahayana ideal, how much we can bring benefit to this particular group of sentient beings who are right next to us, and this way, create or still accumulate the causes that will strengthen that Mahayana ideal of inclusion of all sentient beings and expand out then to more and more sentient beings by perfecting our practices within the group that we are familiar with.
Dene jamba jene ani ja ched tango ye chre ma to tango ne hop kal semje thamja san loga de tu jo ke yo mar wa ta de chen re to ta diga ngo zo ngo chube ta dila ji ngo zo jewa ya bo sha to na ani kewa chima dile pendo ched che to ani di chima dile pendo ched ko lamja pendo ja cho 기부 다바 가자 semje ta ya bal pendo che to de yo go to ta kana jo ko sana tango sa chung jone sa yo wa 충조자 당분의 전부 용화하고 요 말이야. 어디다 직사, 니사, 솜사 어디다 자체 뭐. 안 네가 도가서 미베 때 아니 알아서가 강 톡톡이. 어디다 배주 제게 좀 버려도 어디지.
And so this is the same, of course, the same process for our perfecting of generosity, of ethical conduct, of patience, etc. We do so in the context of a small group of familiars, that the people who we are in connection with at all time, and constantly refining that connection to make it as best as possible, and understanding that it's only through good connection that we can really be of benefit and therefore fulfill our Mahayana promise. And so this is no different to how the great higher beings that we are familiar with, who have such a vast reach now, who benefit so many sentient beings, that they, like us, started small and perfected and honed their benefiting skills with a small group, and then expanded out and so here we must have that same objective, and to enter into it with our best motivation.
Pero chachawana mo sanje chomden dengue pebekal loni don tuja pebekal sanje ge tila da jikaso de jawa yue de and sanje de jawa kare chacha mo de ngar loba lamge ne kala and sanje ge tu kende ja de jawa yu ta de go do ben chawina kornga de and tamol le jela ta ge jiba dangsa de ta de ge cha de do and ta jiba ta kulu jiba ta ne and mao dana ge jiba ta wal de na mao ba ga sanje ne chög de tangbo de denzola ge cento ba cho sla de and Warnas Dodger Mobata was Sanji with Sevatena, Warnas Pene, and Cornga de la Chet and Bosun, you just chatted one. What did what? Jawa chatted one. The little good one.
We can see this means of connection and the importance of establishing the line of connection through the different life stories of the Buddha prior to his becoming enlightened. And that in so many different instances, one of which is the connection with the 5 first disciples of the Buddha. This began when the Buddha gave, in a previous life prior to his becoming enlightened, his own body as sustenance to a tiger mother and her 4 cubs who were starving, and then dedicated that action that it may create the connection that they will be the first 5 disciples when I attain the state of enlightenment. And so it happened that the Buddha, having attained enlightenment, traveled to Varanasi, and there in Deer Park met the 5 first disciples, and they were the recipients of the first turning of the wheel.
단단해 what 제와차 church 도 아니 소소를 지금 제가 편바 주변에 뭐 되는 제네 내가 다다 편바 뒤로다 마음발을 추기 집어 딱 못들 전투가 쇼 상게 what 내가 뭐 제바이나 때는 누가 열어 샘상부터는 뭐 제바이나
So this is really telling us that we also should really have this kind of dedication, that when we have created a good connection with another and perhaps engaged in an act of generosity, that we can dedicate this act of generosity so that that we can actually continue on with this act of generosity as an enlightened being, and that they will be the recipients of that perfection of generosity.
Nobody can also serve coming. Till ninja con serve con, yes, servati, tribute, Sange, you, that channel, that Sangene, give a chug, but simply diligent to a shows. What are change for us? Simply diligent to it. Kawaina, Jipachani, the gentleman.
And in the context of developing the perfection of patience, of course, this requires the one who actually harms us. So in our dedication there, having engaged in an act of patience, that we dedicate that when I attain the state of enlightenment, may I be able to administer the correct teachings to this particular being as myself as an enlightened being. And so we dedicate at the conclusion of all different virtues like that.
What is a better? Kaja, the better, and what the next summer town when the sugar summer coin, Kondo Sai Yumarwa. 진노바께 남자 수업하고 아니 사제가 남자도 제바체는 아니 예 수업이 검토바체네 컨디션은 수업하고 디 페인티 아니 마오발게 사게의 추가 집아 당보다 심제들 민투바 쇼스 심제들 진투바 쇼스 what address 제바 이나다 코로 사이 고가 민도와 네.
And indeed, in that context of when we are in a situation like that, needing to generate and display patience, that when we have already kind of as part of our practice, as part of our practice, is to have that dedication in mind already to say, when I attain the state of enlightenment, may I be able to give the gift of Dharma to this particular being. In that then scenario, there's no opportunity for anger, is there? It's because we have already, taken the best of that particular action. So there's no actual opportunity for anger to arise there.
짐바다 냠바마와다 아니 가서 된죄바다 된투바 랑이 냠슬라 도바체 데데네 민족을 남로 거버 잡았어 데데네 데레데네 아니 심제 탐제 규명과 민버체 민버 저버체네 아니 민족을 남로 거다 다 산제를 남로 거도 바치기 맞죠 탐도 잡아 거버 잡고 다 대다 제노바데 아니 다 드랑도 둘라 세도바 라마샤 샤자스게 아니 징글 랍도서 소데 잡발라 때네 라메 쿨레 다 라마샤자스 쿨레 두제단가 외세드 잡고 규명법네 아니 규명법을 때네 다 랑게 잡고네 마 쇼네 아니 규명법을 때네 아니 저 토마메바나 사베 아니 저거 디디 담세 냠자 탄자 바 장쳤다 아니 류 당사 왜 그러서 또 최주베 tun제 아니 다 말류바 창 다 류대 달아서 tun제 가를 것 때문에 창네 아니 어떻게 살다 어째 아니 다가는 이제 양조선대 잡을 때는 위즈 또시 세부터 슈차치 밤에 집원에 마더랑이 니마 심네 아니 라마샤자 쓰기게 아니 고소도가 연대 탐자 다 존에 아니 대대가 냠네 수시도 제도가 누가 켜봐제 대수 삼사체
And so these four ways of ripening the minds of others by accumulating disciples, and that this generosity, the speaking wisely and sweetly, and the ways in which we encourage them to engage in the practices and ours following, really practicing what we teach ourselves. And so we're saying here that this is something that is indispensable for the ways of benefiting sentient beings. I really want to engage in this. May it be the case, O Guru Dehi, please bless me to make this so. As a result of our supplications, we have the descending nectar lights coming down from the Guru on our crown, with the white light predominant and purifying all negativities and obscurations that we have accumulated since beginning this time, and particular anything that is obscuring our being able to have such a pure motivation like this in order to accumulate disciples and ripening the minds of others, being able to benefit others in this way. And then with the golden light predominant, that again we have this kind of appreciation not only of the qualities of an enlightened being, but our awareness of our potential now to be able to really perfect and fulfill all these qualities for ourselves.
다는 이제 다 퉁이 나서 다 이거 퉁삼서 지다 자서는 퉁삼소야 아니 다 같이 사바다 자치외 아니 계세가 줘발라고 제때베 아니 소라 본제다 제발라 아니 따와서 나시 자서 어디 체
And so then there are the outlines of the third, what to do at the conclusion of your meditation session is as it was described in the past, and then to describe what happens in between sessions. It says that again, in between sessions, one must seek out the vast and profound texts that describe all the particular activities of the bodhisattvas and their particular trainings, and to make ourselves aware of them through the text and the commentaries on those texts.
我在这点怎么想？我在这，他反正让个就我了，那么下家是个光的，那么下家是个这，让个你的，那干嘛大家起来做？안에 반대자와 라마를 먼저 다게 닝걸 빼면 되죠라 같이 처음에 고소도 좀 모두 자도 손대 잡아라 때네 아니 라마샤자 생게 안 집어내 마 전에 랑이 닝가 가도 맞춰서 삼사자 니베 가서 아니 쇼 수베 가서 때도 쇼나 산제 고바 마도 받을 제수 사고 받자.
And so next then we prepare the lotus, sun and moon disk mandala seat at our own heart and invite the Guru on our crown down by reciting the invocation verse 3 times. At the first recitation, O glorious and precious Guru, come take your lotus and moon seat placed here at my heart. Keep me safe in your kindness. Bestow on me the attainments of your body, speech and mind. The Guru starts the journey down through the crown, through the central channel. At the end of the second recitation, arrives at our seat prepared, and at the end of the third recitation we have the certainty of their remaining steadfast until we attain the state of enlightenment and rejoice in that.
아니 되네 랑이 민 빼마다 이제 많이 가서 이렇게 안돼 도저히 가고 생각을 같이 되겠죠. 아니 대타들 또배 생각 아니 다에도 어머니 마음으로서 걸어 숨자 되겠죠. 되네 아니 치고라 알아봐서 나디디디디디디디 대선 치고 걸어 숨자. 되네 디샴들라 된데가 예다마 해도 다다가다 하이웨다 현다로도 마 샤만에서 되는가 수고 거되겠지 고마시.
And so then the 8 petals of the lotus of our seat fold over, enfolding the figure of Guru Manindra Vajradhara at our heart, and that is sealed at the tips by a 5-pronged white vajra. And then it is also encircled by the mantra of the name mantra of Shakyamuni Buddha in going in a clockwise direction, the mantra of Manjushri in an anti-clockwise direction, and the mantra of dependent origination in a clockwise direction.
And then the rangi nigga uso, and Lama Shajasan shooter, Lama Shajasan will cool it, we said number, said Nanga trainer, Rangi Chibone, Kantiga Palo, we said trainer, and the Ranga Lu, Nga, Yesung, Sabe, and Tiki Pacha the Java Takaja, and church to make a Tamja, she was just some of my
And from the Buddha within the enfolded petals at our heart, light rays emanate, permeating out through those petals and through every pore of our bodies, and purifying all negativities and obscurations of our body, speech and mind. And so that our mind and body, speech and mind are all kind of rendered now suitable for a spiritual practice.
다는 신게 안에 지금 체주에 개개 안다가 류대당 라다 견지긴 그 중식 그 많이 봐. 다가는 이제 자롱 딜레기 견 근데 저번에 견디게 봤잖아. 아니 견디게 장에 안에 가서도 다그 서버 중소 삼사때 고마셔. 학도도 다 누르도 상계기 고마토발라 견 치슈도 탐에는 나신 차디고. 근데 저 탐에는 나신게 아니 견장에 가난 탐자 다바람자 바시 차도가 야고시 중소 서서 고마셔.
And then, furthermore, all the faults of our bodies, speech and mind are eradicated so that we can engage in perfect spiritual practice, such as the faults of our 4 elements, they are rectified, and the balancing of our channels, winds and drops as well. And in particular, the fault of our being mired or kind of shackled by ordinary appearance, which is the main thing which prevents us from attaining enlightenment quickly, that we do away with that and we adopt the pure vision in order to be able to quickly attain enlightenment.
Lama Shajasan good and chicken so the Lama Shajasan cool juice sometimes.
And then through the combination of my own most subtle wind with the body of as acting as the substantial cause, with the body of the Buddha acting as the cooperative conditions, my own body is transformed into the enlightened body of a Buddha.
So the Shindo send the Lama Shajasan good and chicken so the Lama Shajasan cool juice sometimes.
And then through the combination of my own most subtle mind acting as the substantial cause, together with the mind of the Buddha acting as the cooperative conditions, my own mind is transformed into the enlightened mind of the Buddha. And now my body, speech, and mind are inseparable from the body, speech, and mind of the Buddha. And this place also is purified of all fault and transforms into the palatial mansion of an enlightened being. Then, seeing myself as a fully enlightened being, I sent out the countless rays of light equal in number to all sentient beings. And as the lights reach sentient beings, they are automatically transformed into enlightened beings, Buddhas themselves. And then these places of the six realms are also transformed of all fault and transformed into enlightened palatial mansions of enlightenment.
Because the subject of the Lama Shaja say Kuru Juata, and the Lama Shaja subject of Lama Shaja say Kuru Juata, and the dead to a Kawakasa, dead to a social, you tell them what over Pata some.
And this is attaining of the state of enlightenment, the state of enlightenment itself, the one agent engaged in that enlightenment, all empty of any inherent existence or objective existence and are merely imputed by thought.
Subject Sanja Kuma Tupi, second the time you might to Susan Kawako.
And this objective of attaining enlightenment in order to bring all sentient beings to that state is fulfilled today. Done it, how wonderful! I rejoice.
Tata Samlos are Muna Quanta Kawaka, Yina Tirin Kawasabati, and Tin the Tata Samlo Tawan and Muna to and it's Curicua shows.
And of course I know I'm operating just at the level of my imagination now, but I make a firm dedication that this may quickly be made manifest for real.
Just Sanje Kobatowala, and it's a touch of Sonderi Namsulanko, Tarnishing, and it's a Chanjuk Singly, and Yamle Tajabaja, Taja, so Kita, Chikaso, Yabuchu, Kibuchuneta, Tubuchuneta, that can't contest Chaba Yimba Inaya, San, Satung. Yeah, condition but then. Tigaka, Chanju is some Majava, give a curious shows. What does watch it?
And the dedication that, to be able to perfect both the method and the wisdom and the combination of both in order to attain the state of enlightenment. I will do whatever I possibly can and dedicate myself fully committed to doing so from now on, and that in all my actions of eating and drinking or whatever I engage in, that I am always aware of refining and cultivating that motivation of the mind of enlightenment.
What is that? Song, yeah, sing Nova Kiva in it, sing a Pema Tuba in it, Lega Rava in it, Lega Shorma in it, Kari by the Chadusa Majava Kiva, one of the jury to a source. What did it?
And indeed, whatever the situation, whether there's someone helping me or harming me, whether I have getting new work or I've lost my job, or whatever my circumstance is, all of what arises good and all of what arises is bad, I use it all to completely enhance the mind of enlightenment, to generate the mind of enlightenment that has not been generated just before now, and to completely expand and refine the extent to which I have generated the mind of enlightenment thus far. And do our Lam-Rim prayer. From my two collections that space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom I is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all lives and history. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by my practice. Using skillful means strong by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold Buddha's teachings for a very long time, with my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined. May I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time, by even this great path to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and create conducive conditions by practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. Compassion, not anger, true resistance, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hordes of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel, the sages of the lightest knows. Look on your prayer at your feet and at your requests.